2017, I came across a very, very intriguing article, quite alarming also. The article was about a nuclear EMP, a solar EMP, or is it something else? And what this is talking about is the threat of an EMP. Electromagnetic pulse. They now have nuclear weapons that can detonate above you and totally wipe out all electronics, the engine in your car, and all electricity, the entire electrical grid in a very large area. As you can see over here, this map, let's see if it comes up. Oh, it's not too big, but if an EMP was exploded over the United States, it would wipe out the electrical grid to almost 2/3 of this country. Now, this can happen anywhere at any time, and we've been under this threat of a nuclear EMP for quite some time. This article is very intriguing by Mr. Larry Bowers over at Sign of the Times. I'll leave a link for you to read the entire article because, ladies and gentlemen, the threat is actually there, as in the form of a nuclear weapon. Knocking out the military's use of electronics would be devastating. Wiping out the power grid for half of a nation would be damning. Now, there was a gentleman that wrote a book about this, and this nuclear EMP threat, it goes back quite a while. Ever since 9/11, terrorists, they've actually got their hands on more sophisticated weapons and technology. And this article goes into talking about that aspect. And then there's this part of the article, the power control structure. And this actually opened my eyes. This section of the article states the power control structure that has led countless past cultures and civilizations to destruction through war, famine, disease, and catastrophe is fully operational today. Its psychopathic values eventually inflect large populations and bring our decadence and impotence to a failure point. Under these conditions, a culture or a civilization is doomed. The psychopathic elements of this control structure never intend self-destruction. However, they have brought it about countless times. For more details on how this psychopathic elite group bring about this destruction, there are 2 links provided for your reading. Getting back to the EMP situation, an EMP will also have the ability to knock out satellites all around the world. These satellites can be attacked by an EMP at any time. But something that really is even more dangerous is the aspect of a solar EMP. Coronal mass ejection, CME, that's what they call it. Back in 1859, a CME released from the sun impacted the Earth in 1859. Now, they didn't have electronics like we do today. Now, they did have a very small power grid, telegraphs for transmitting information, totally wiped out. Totally wiped out. This was a big situation in 1859. The science on CMEs, coronal mass ejections, basically, they didn't know too much about it, if anything. So what would be the bigger threat? The solar EMP in the form of a coronal mass ejection, or a terroristic threat with a nuclear EMP? If you notice in the mainstream media over the course of the past year and leading up over the past 90 days, this constant threat of nuclear war seems to be in the news every single day. I believe it's complete disinformation. We all know that the explosion or detonation of a nuclear weapon anywhere on this globe would be catastrophic for everyone around the world. Radiation, fallout, destruction, loss of life. For what? Because a country can't get along? I don't think it's going to happen. I think they keep the threat in the back of your mind psychologically. I think the bigger threat is coming from the sun. We talk about it all the time. We know what is happening. We have all seen what's going on with our sun. We look up in the sky. We've taken tens of thousands of photographs from around the world. People that have been on this earth 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Their first comment is, I've never seen the sun look like that before in all of my life. Took some photographs of the sun the other day. It was square. A few hours later, it was shaped in the form of a diamond. 2 hours after that, it was in the shape of a round headlight. The light that was coming from the sun almost looked fluorescent. Very weird times. We could take a look on the SOHO and LASCO space telescopes that sit there all day and all night and stare at the sun. They record this information. But, ladies and gentlemen, as you see, you'll see a coronal mass ejection right there. I'll tell you what, we'll blow this up just a little bit. Now, these coronal mass ejections on the sun, they happen all the time, constantly. It's just a matter of the positioning of the Earth in its orbit around the sun and the location of this CME. For many, many years, they've called this the kill shot, because a very large coronal mass ejection that would impact the Earth at that given time would be the end of all mankind. Every living creature on the face of this earth. That's why they call it the kill shot. One day the laws of probability will take course, and the possibility of our planet being in the wrong place at the wrong time has yet to be seen, but it is possible. The way that our sun has been reacting over the course of the last 2 years, becoming more intense in 2016 and now in 2017, we have to sit and wonder time and time again what is happening. We've yet to have anyone officially with power step up to the microphone and say, ladies and gentlemen, This is what is happening. We're working on it. We want you to know as a people. We want you to have the information. No, they don't want you to have the information. They don't want you looking up in the sky as they wipe out the blue sky with their chemtrailing every single day. Are they bouncing back solar radiation? Are they trying to protect us? There's a possibility. Are they hiding something in the daytime sky? That's a high possibility. Something in the heavens is not quite right. We will continue to investigate and research and try to figure it out. We all know the magnitude of something like this. We couldn't stop it. We're just mere human beings on a small blue planet in a vast solar system. What we can do is we can gain the power of knowledge. We can understand what is occurring. We can be given a chance to prepare. But there's the factions out there that don't want you to prepare. They do not want you to have the information. There's a high possibility that they just want you to die. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of crazy things going on around the world. A lot of different threats. And that's exactly what they are. If you sit and think about it, the threat of a hurricane, tornado, winter storm, heavy rains, flooding, earthquakes, volcanoes, wildfires, the threat of a small solar system within our solar system, lurking in the distance, creating all of this havoc. It's a sign of the times that we're living in right now. I'm going to leave an article link so you can read this article by Mr. Larry Bowers. Great in-depth article. A lot of good information. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're going to be uploading a lot of our videos to the Planet X News YouTube channel. Stop by, subscribe to the channel, set up your notifications, keep yourself informed. The Planet X News channel is my channel. This is the main channel, the Nibiru channel. These videos will be shared on both channels. Make sure you come back at least once a day. Check for new updates. This is Scott from the Nibiru channel.